Hello, I'm Will Hamilton of the Lincolnshire Wolds Honey Company. This is a longer form video of what I just did for my Facebook page. Because I've got 5 minutes on YouTube, it's great. Just thought I'd introduce myself because we're going to create some content for this page, which is hopefully useful, very practical advice. This will not be some sort of 60-minute long epic where the point is 5 minutes from the end. Thought I'd introduce myself. So I've been keeping bees 12 years. Next year will be my 13th. I do it, hopefully it won't be unlucky. I do it semi-professionally, semi-commercially. I'm also a landscape gardener, so it keeps me pretty busy. I haven't counted all of my bees recently, but I've probably got between 40 and 50 hives, which for our area, in Louth area in Lincolnshire in the UK, it's semi-commercial. I produce honey, I produce wax products, I produce craft products generally, to be honest, in all with the bee theme, in addition to doing bee experiences and helping do the beginner's course, which we run, which will be listed on the Beekeepers of the Lincolnshire Wolds website. We've actually got people asking about that for next year. They're a heck of a lot more organised than I am. I can barely think what I'm doing beyond the end of next week. I got into beekeeping out of a general interest for the countryside, which a lot of new beekeepers are. We've seen in the last 10, 15 years a lot of new beekeepers who are younger with a general interest in the environment. The National Bee Unit, which is the division of DEFRA, the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs in the UK, do a survey, and they actually look a little bit at attitudes of people joining, getting involved with beekeeping, and there is a more general environmental awareness, so I'm certainly not unique in that case. I also got interested in beekeeping because we had, as a little boy, we had a next door neighbour who was a really old school beekeeper, went to his bees. Protective equipment for him was a veil, and that's it. And I watched him go into his bees, and it gets you interested, and you try it yourself, and you like it or you don't. In my case, I liked it. I find it brings together a lot of my individual interests, being outside, health foods. I like honey. I had hay fever, so honey was good for hay fever. I like the craft, the rewarding craft aspect of keeping bees. You can get into it, you can read about it, you get better at it. It's good for mental health. It's just nice to be outside on a good day. It's like being able to get involved with farming, but on a much smaller scale and as expensive as beekeeping can be, cheaper. Certainly cheaper than buying a viable farm. It's an excuse to get into interesting places, to get access to interesting sites. My bees are all kept in the Lincolnshire Wolds area of outstanding natural beauty, which is like the local national park to where I am. And I make a big thing out of that because the bees have an intrinsic link to the landscape that they're on, the flowers that they're foraging. And the honey is a product of that landscape, and it's special. So I keep my bees around Louth. I'm based in Louth. I've been involved with the local beekeeping groups. I was the chairman of Louth Beekeepers, which is the immediate local group, for several years. I was a trustee and a representative on the Lincolnshire Beekeepers, which is the regional group. The Lincolnshire Beekeepers have a website. They're a useful source of information, but they're one of the founding members of the British Beekeeping Association. Lincolnshire, people have kept bees here for a long time. At one point, the Lincolnshire Beekeepers was the biggest beekeeping association in the country. Lincolnshire is a fundamentally rural area, and people have always kept bees here. So Lincolnshire Beekeepers is over 150 years old. In terms of my professional background, I'm self-employed now as a beekeeper and a gardener, as I mentioned, but historically, food industry of 30 odd years. Yeah, I'm not that old, honest. I just started when I was young. I've also worked in university, so I was doing a PhD in a local university, and through that I did teaching and training, which got me interested in teaching, which I do through the Beekeepers of Lincolnshire Wolds now on my own. I started the beginner's course, the most recent version of it for Louth beekeepers. And between that and the training I've done, I've probably got over 100 people started in beekeeping. Being directly practically involved with helping them and getting them keeping bees, which I'm proud of. So yeah, beyond that, I'm now self-employed and we're pushing and trying to develop the beekeeping as a business, as a lifestyle business in the Lincolnshire Wolds, which we got in the Lincolnshire Life magazine this last year, and we're actively promoting it because we think local people are interested in these beauty spots as well in the national park landscape. So it's really good. But I hope that's a little bit of information about me. I hope you found it useful. And we will be putting some videos on the page to do with getting into beekeeping and what's involved. So the practical side of what you'll actually have to do and where to get training and some equipment as well, which will hopefully be useful. Thank you very much.